Hey, I'm Joshua. Thanks for tuning in to Roach Fab Garage, where I'll be taking the old 46 Ford rusty floor pan, cutting it out, and welding in a new floor pan, paint, seam seal. It'll be looking like this, good as new. Alright, got the trunk all cut out with the old and with the new. Gonna take the grinder around the edge and kind of just clean that edge up so it's a nice clean edge. We're going to use this piece we cut out as a template on the replacement trunk pan and cut out what we need. The original pan had, I don't know if this is some sort of storage or something, but it was all like spot welded together, it looked like. Anyways, we don't need that where we're going. So we're just going to put it in flat panel and go from there. Alright, got my patch panels all fit up pretty good. So I got this one. I'm going to have to add in mount for the trunk latch, but overall that one's pretty good. And then the big trunk pan fits really good. I'm probably going to have to trim some of these edges on each side, but I'll wait till I get welded all the way around before I trim anymore. And then I can just trim those edges, push it down, and fit it up tight. So quite a big panel, so it's going to be slow and steady with the welding. And once I get that all done, which is going to be a long time of welding, then I just got this corner here and that little edge there. So coming along. It's time to start welding on this thing. To get the panels welded in, I actually did already run a couple tacks here. I've had the welder for about a year, but the first time I've had gas for it to run it on MIG. It is using a multi-process yes welder. I got this welder for reasons. I guess first because it was cheap, second it was inexpensive, and third because it didn't cost very much. So we'll see how it did. I did watch some reviews online and on YouTube, and it seemed to be most reviews are better than most of like the titanium Harbor Freight welders, and it was like a third of the price. So we'll give it a shot. That was quite a while ago. I feel like there was a weird Christmas deal and it was less than like 350, 400 bucks, somewhere in there. Multi-process came with a TIG torch and a stick electrode and a MIG torch. So we'll see how it does. Alright, so we got everything clamped down pretty well. We're just going to start going through and little tack by tack running along, trying to keep it straight and see where we can go from there. It's gonna be hard to see, but I got this edge here that's low. It's not quite lining up. So I put a jack and a block of wood underneath. I'm just gonna use slight pressure on the jack until we bring it a little more. And that's this angle until it's up and flush. So put you back up on the stand and I'll make a few welds. I have the scrap piece that I cut out here and some leftover scrap from cutting the trunk pans, and got the floor section I cut out all traced out, left the top end big there. I'm not really sure what it's going to look like. Kind of had to fill in the blanks here with some of it, so left a little big, and we'll just trim it down as we go. Just kind of use the old angle grinder and a death wheel, and we'll get this thing rolling. Well, I have the driver's side rear section of the floor pan all cut out, fit out really nice. Spent probably 30 minutes just after I got it cut out, just getting it fit up real good. Just made the panel a little bit big and then kind of trimmed it back as I went along. It's going to be tricky kind of on this side here. It's going to be hard to tell on camera. But this whole back section was rotted out. So I made this piece a little long, and then I'm going to clamp down this flange here, and then we'll weld it all as one sandwich as much as we can, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. Not much to work with here, but with limited tools, that's kind of a hard piece to make without being able to really shrink the metal too much. Got the last patch panel for the floor pan here, all cut and fit in. Actually pretty tight fit there. So either I'm getting better or getting lucky. I'll take either one. So we'll get this one put in, and then I just have a small patch panel on the inner fender for that little hole there, and after that we'll grind some welds, throw some paint on, and then we'll move on to the floor pans up by the driver's seat. Well, if you take your time with fit up and work hard not to get too hot and get all your panels fitting real nice and clean, you get a pretty smooth weld and not much grinder work to do. Clearly I did none of that, so we're going to be grinding for a bit, regular grinding disc and then flat disc, and we'll get her looking smooth. Grinder and paint, you'll never know the difference. Alright, well, I took some time with the grinding wheel and then a flat disc and got it all cleaned up. Looking pretty good. All the way around. A few pinholes we'll have to hit with the welder. But overall, looking pretty good. So we're just going to touch up those couple of pinholes, grind it. Well, I just finished up a couple hours of grinding and then some touch-up welding and then more grinding. So, but overall, it turned out pretty good. Kind of hard to tell. Not great lighting, but everything cleaned up actually pretty good. So, a little echoey inside the trunk here. Everything cleaned up pretty good, so I'm just gonna come in here, wire wheel the whole thing again, wipe it down, throw down some self-etching primer, and then, like I said, do some body sealant on each of these corners. And then I'm just going to run up this groove all the way around. And then on this edge here. And yeah, it'll be looking good as new. Alright, well, I got it all buttoned up. So I got some seam sealer, it's paintable. So I'm going to put seam sealer down. This stuff's supposed to be able to go over bare steel. So I'll put seam sealer down first, and then I'm going to put some of this rust barrier paint. It's a rubberized paint over top of it. Pick this stuff because you can top coat it according to the can, and rubberized should help with sound in the cab or whatever. I do plan on putting some sound deadening mats in it, but obviously won't get every nook and cranny, so hopefully this stuff works for us. But we're gonna get started with the seam sealer. There we go. Just kind of smudged all in there. I know that looks like a lot. Believe it or not, that is a lot less than what was in there from the factory. So they just kind of liberally just dumped a bunch of it in there and filled way large gaps, all kinds of stuff with it. So now I got that all smashed in the seams. We're going to let it cure, and then once it's cured, I'll kind of touch it up a little, and then we'll throw some of that rubberized rust stop, whatever, paint on it. I put on 2 pretty thick coats of this duplicolor rust barrier. I don't know. Read the label, looked like it'd do the job. It's supposed to be you can paint over rust, right over rusty metal. Of course, this has been wire wheeled and cleaned, but supposed to help with that, and it can be painted or top coated over top of. So that's why I chose that. I am gonna primer this thing and then paint it in white, the whole inside the car, but figured I'd get some of this. It's all supposed to be rubber coated or rubberized paint, so help with sound deadening and road noise, supposedly. So here it is, all finished and painted up and looking snazzy. So this will be it for now, and then eventually I'll be painting the whole interior the same international white, just kind of like an off-whitish color. Until then, I think this will do for the trunk. And I do actually have the rocker panels mostly done at this point as well, so we'll get those all coated up and cleaned up, and those will just get primer because those will be an A surface, so I won't put this rubberized paint on it. And that'll be ready to go as well for next week's video.